Today we're going to be talking about the Black male experience in occupational therapy school. What's up, y'all? My name is Ted. I'm a first-year occupational therapy student in Tennessee. In January, I will be a second-year student. Super excited about that. I'm also the creator of TED Talks for OT, which is a mentorship program / YouTube series where I give prospective minority OT students an introduction to what occupational therapy is and the steps needed to apply for occupational therapy school, or what that experience may be like once they do get accepted. If you are interested in connecting through the TED Talks for OT program, go ahead and follow me on Instagram at ted.lofi&live, or you can just shoot me an email at tedrinelian@gmail.com. So now that we got that out of the way, what is the Black male experience like in occupational therapy school? Well, it's not too much different than undergrad for me. First things first, let me give you a breakdown of how our program is broken down by demographic. We have 41 students in all in our program. There are 2 Black women in the program. There are 4 men in the program, and there is only 1 Black man in the program, and that's me. So the other 35 of those students are white women, and I am the 2% of my class that is Black male. So initially going into OT school, I already knew that the majority of my class would be white women, because OT is a field that's trying to focus on diversity and including different ethnic groups, etc., etc. My first encounter with my class, I believe, was at orientation, and I'm already a little socially awkward anyways. So the very first meeting, it was just like, I was like, hey, how y'all doing? Whatever. Sat in my seat, paid attention during orientation, and boom, went home. So initially, we didn't really have to interact as much. It was based on us whether we wanted to connect with our classmates or whatever we wanted to do. So our first main class that we primarily had to focus on was anatomy. So it was anatomy and then anatomy lab. So we would go to anatomy lecture, and then we have the cadaver lab where we have to dissect the dead bodies. Yes, dissect the dead bodies. In lecture, you're just kind of in there with everybody. But then when you go to cadaver lab, they got y'all broken up in groups. We were mixed in with the PT students as well. So I believe it was 2 OT students. So it was me and 1 other girl from my program. And then for the PT class, it was 3 of them. So we would have to all come together in a group for lab and do our thing or whatever. So that was the first encounter to where I really had to be comfortable in being in a group and all of that stuff. And I mean, it was cool. It was fine. You just go in there, y'all talk about how y'all about to dissect the body, who's going to do what task, who's going to handle the scalpel, who's going to, pull back the skin, or who's going to find the nerves, arteries, and veins, and how we're going to come together as a group to get that done. So that wasn't bad at all. But during that whole anatomy experience and the other few classes that we had, when there's no other Black men in the group, me personally, I was always trying to figure out, do I fit in more with the men or fit in more with the Black women? I'm a very abstract person, so I don't really fit in the box. Maybe I need to take all this out. Nah, I'm gonna leave this in because I'm just being real. I'm just speaking from how I feel as a Black man. In undergrad, you kick it with whoever you want to kick it with from different majors, this, that, and whatever. But when you get into grad school, you are with that one class until you graduate. So you might as well make friends, interact, do whatever you got to do to get through school, because that's just how it is. I'm just not used to being in a room that's not as diverse. So, I mean, it just really just throw me for a loop. So that's all I'm saying. This video isn't to say, hey man, your experience is gonna be horrible, this, that, and the other. I'm just speaking for myself. So moving along, being in the anatomy lab forced me to be more social than I was in lecture. So that was my first taste of getting into the groove of things. So once quarantine hit, then we were forced to do everything at home, but we still had and have a crap ton of projects, group projects, presentations, all of that stuff. So that kind of forces you to work together with other groups and things like that. So I started to mesh in a little bit more, and it wasn't really as awkward anymore, because we're about 11 months in the program. Being around the same people for 11 months, if you're not comfortable by now, then you just, I don't know what to tell you. It's just whatever, man. It is what it is. Now I would say I interact with my class just fine. But since our cultures are so different, my hobbies are a lot different than my classmates. I don't really talk to them or go out with them outside of whatever is academically required. That's not to say that they are a bad group of people. It's just a whole lot of differences in the things that we're interested in and stuff like that. So far, what I gotta say is making the best out of your experience as a black male is go into it with a level of respect and think in your head, why am I here? Like, what is the purpose of me going here? I feel like the reason you should be enrolled in an OT program is to learn and realize that in the health profession field, mostly everything is transdisciplinary, meaning that you're going to be working with other occupational therapists. You're going to be working with physical therapists. You're going to be working with speech language pathologists. You're going to be working with pediatricians, doctors, probably dietitians. You're going to be working with the whole medical profession. And if you think the entire medical profession is going to be just one culture or one gender, then you are wrong. You're going to have to deal with a lot of different people, etc., that are not like you. The biggest thing for me is, how can I learn from going through OT school and interacting with different people, not focusing on our differences, but focusing on common ground and why we joined OT school, which is because of whatever personal experiences or interactions that we've had through our life. Now, I'm gonna make a video about why I was interested in OT, and it is because I have a genetic condition myself that some may view as a disability, but I beg to differ because I can do a lot of things that a lot of well-able-bodied people cannot do. But we'll get to that later. But don't let the fear of being the only black male in OT school steer you from not applying to OT school or not being interested into OT school. It's bigger than just you and you being the only black dude in OT school. Somewhere there's a little black boy that needs occupational therapy that may get mentally, he may get his own version of white coat syndrome from not seeing someone that looks like him as his occupational therapist. It just may make his therapy experience a whole lot better seeing, you know, some people that represents him and who he is, which is a young black boy. So that's part of the reason why I'm interested in OT, and I love that. Likewise, from what I've heard, men who need occupational therapy also prefer other men to be their occupational therapists, and I can kind of attest to that. It's probably a pride thing, being that men are supposed to handle business and be well able-bodied to do whatever they want, do whatever they need. It hurts your pride when you gotta go to the emergency room and you're recovering from, you know, maybe a stroke or an accident or whatever the case may be, and having a female OT and seeing you at that vulnerable moment, that's the thing. That's definitely a thing. So being a man, you can represent for other men too, and you know, let them know that it's gonna be cool, man. We're gonna get you right. That's how my first year. My dog is barking. Dash, no. Y'all, my dog is seeing things. Anyways, for all my minority men and women and whoever else who enjoyed this video, if you want to see more content, go ahead and subscribe, like this video, give me any feedback in the comments. If I want to know what other type of questions that you would like for me to answer in the comments as well. If you're interested in the TED Talks for OT mentorship program / series, go ahead and follow me on Instagram at ted.lofiandlift, or shoot me an email at tedrinelian@gmail.com, and I'll go ahead and get you signed up for the mentorship program. It is 100% free. You don't have to pay nothing at all. This is basically my way of connecting with other minorities who may think that they can't do it. You just need that extra encouragement. You don't know where to start or how to find the information to get into OT school. I got you, because I was feeling the exact same way. So see y'all later. Holla.